Hey guys, what's going on? Naeem here. Today's video is gonna be kind of a tutorial slash behind the scenes montage video as type of I did a shoot yesterday with a friend of mine named Becca. We actually interned at the same company, Humble Genius. We linked up, did a shoot around Philly, and it turned out really dope. I got some awesome shots and I got some pretty dope footage and video. You guys are definitely gonna check it out after this little intro, and then after that we move on to like the tutorial part of things. I'll be showing you how I use Lightroom and how I edit. Just a little disclaimer, I don't use any presets like Visco packs or anything like that. Nothing against people who do. I'm not like trying to throw shade or anything. Most times I don't use them. If I had a big project maybe, but for this video I will not be going over that. Let's definitely get into this video, and I'll be putting all of Becca's information in the description below.
You stare me down, my eyes fall to the ground. I saw you blink, but I'm nobody. But I'm nobody. You stare me down, I know your game. You think I'm waking, I'm your prey. Let's get this right, I'm nobody. But for tonight, I'm a queen. I'm a queen.
Hello, welcome back everyone. Hope you all enjoyed the little montage. It was the first one I've ever really made, but I'll definitely look forward to making more in the future. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our Lightroom tutorial. First things first, we're not going to go to basic. We're not going to edit with our exposure, contrast, none of that stuff. We're actually just going to drop down to lens correction. We're going to turn on remove chromatic aberrations and enable profile corrections. Essentially, all this is doing is removing the vignette and the distortion that our lenses naturally create on their own. It's going to take things back to the more natural look that they're supposed to have. But after that, you can go back up to your basics panel, and for me, I'm going to drop the exposure down about 1/4 of a stop. I'm going to make this image black and white actually. Let's go somewhere that I really didn't intend to go. But let's boost our contrast up to about 20. Actually, let's go a little bit higher. It's about 26 feels good. I'm going to try and emulate a classic film camera cinematic type of look. So we're going to have a lot of contrast with good highlights, deep, dark, rich shadows, and black areas. So let's take our shadows down. That feels good, and then just jump straight down to our blacks and take those down as well. With our highlights, actually let's take our blacks down just a little bit more. With our highlights, we'll go up just a tad bit to about 10. As of right now, that's already feeling pretty good to me. I'm liking the contrast that we're showing, especially in her hair and in her figure, and how later when we jump down to hue saturation, I think I'm going to probably separate her from the background a little bit more. Actually, let's just do that right now. I'm going to separate her more from the car that she's on by taking the green in the car and dropping that down a good amount. With the blues in her pants, I kind of want to brighten those up. And that's going to separate her even more from that. And then with her skin tones, we'll just brighten those up a tad bit in the orange panel. Just a little bit more. Okay, now that that's done, clarity I don't really touch that much when it comes to portraits, just because it affects the way that skin appears a little bit too much. If you're doing landscape stuff with like buildings, for sure go for it. It adds a nice sharp quality to it. But for portraits, I'm just gonna be really subtle and just do like a 10. With tone curves is a huge part of my editing process. Just to do a really quick overview. Left column, that's your blacks. Next one is your shadows. Then it goes highlights, and then the far right is whites. We're going to set one anchor point in your shadows, another anchor point in your midtones, and another anchor point in your highlights. We're going to go to our blacks, click on it and drag it up a considerable amount. Maybe not that much, but maybe somewhere in about there. That feels good. And then I'm going to add another anchor point between the blacks and shadows and just drag that down to the bottom right just a little bit to kind of add a little bit more contrast. Having this steep and very quick like swoop in this little line is going to like easily add contrast. And you can change your image a lot with tone curves without having to do really too much to the line itself. We're going to go into our highlights and we're going to boost those up just a little bit and actually take our midtones up as well. Before, after, I'm already liking where this is going. Next is we're going to go into effects and add a little bit of grain. Grain is a really easy way to make things look old, vintage, cinematic, film-like, whatever you want to call it. We're going to take the amount up a good amount to about 30, around 40. 40 is the ballpark I'm going for, but we're going to take the size of the grain and reduce it to only about 10, but take the roughness and increase that a lot. That's a really good way to like counterbalance that. And here's the currently where it's at, and here is where it was before. It's going to be really present in the shadows if you look. So that's off, and then that's back on. I actually kind of want to take the grain down a little bit. I should just do something a little bit less, like 32, and then drop the roughness to about 65. Not too significant of a change of what we just had, but just enough. It's all about the subtleties, you know what I mean? Actually, guys, I'm already kind of happy with where this has turned out. I actually might just take the blacks down a little bit more. We can drop this to about -35, and then take the shadows down to about -20. That's the before. I really wish that when you change your images to black and white with Lightroom, you can just do a before and after of the base black and white to where it's at now. But this is just a full screen preview. This is how I go through my editing process. Everything that I do is how I would naturally do it. I hope you guys liked the montage video. I hope you liked the tutorial, where the image is at. You can definitely check out the full gallery on the website. I will definitely add it to the blog so you guys can peep all of the images that I did with all the locations that we shot at. Becca's information will be in the description of this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching my first ever tutorial. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Like it, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.